Students are rarely taught yoga with systematic and detailed explanations. This is my explanation of Sun Salutation A, the first sequence of poses in Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga. Learn and practice my methods. You'll become stronger, ready for more challenging poses and sequences. Also, you will avoid injuries caused by a lack of instruction or poor technique. In weightlifting, you must brace the core to protect the spine. In yoga, we do the same thing, and we call this effort the use of bandhas, or locks. The first lock is Mula Bandha, or root lock. Take a tennis ball and sit on it in between the sitting bones and the genitals and the anus. Contract the pelvic floor to resist the ball. Remove the ball and maintain the contraction. Uddiyana Bandha, or flying upward lock. Take the fingers on the hip bones and one of the lower ribs and lengthen that distance without hiking the shoulders. Your abdomen will pull in and that will stabilize and protect your lower back. Mistakes I see are slumping the shoulders, or having an anterior pelvic tilt, or collapsing in the ankles. So don't do any of that. Ujjayi breath. Engage your bandhas and place your hands on your lower ribs. Breathe into the chest through the nostrils. Keep your breathing slow and regular, the same duration of inhalation as exhalation. Tadasana, mountain pose. Stand using the bandhas and the Ujjayi breath, standing in a neutral position. Hands up pose, Urdhva Hastasana. This is it, no back bend, nothing fancy. Forward fold, Uttanasana. There's a lot more to forward fold than you would think. Come to a standing position, place your hands on your hips, thumbs on the gluteus medius muscles. Engage them by pressing down through the outer edges of the feet. Bend over a little bit, push the inner thighs apart to engage the quads, and fold as deeply as you can, engaging the glutes. This is the secret. This is an active forward fold. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Lengthen the spine, flatten the back, hands on the knees. If you're flexible enough, you can have your fingertips or even hands on the ground. Fold again for your transition into Chaturanga. All right, Chaturanga is a very difficult pose. Here we go. That's it. Now, you should be recruiting your serratus anterior, this big muscle that connects to your shoulder blade along the sides of the ribs, as well as your pec major. If you're not using your pecs, then you are using your upper traps. And of course, you should be using your triceps. Keep the spine and legs straight, 90-degree bend at the elbows. If that's too much for you, you can set the knees on the ground, keeping your butt up and coming forward just a little bit. Then transition to upward facing dog. Perform upward facing dog with your knees on the ground and engage your butt muscles strongly. Transition back to downward facing dog, leading with your hips. Take a look at my downward facing dog. You might notice it's a little bit different. This is what I'm doing. I'm depressing my shoulder blades, rotating my elbows toward the ground, pressing through my knuckles. Downward facing dog is very similar to an overhead press. Here I am performing an overhead press. You can see the position. That's your downward facing dog. It shouldn't be any different, pushing your body weight away from the ground or pushing a barbell over your head. From downward facing dog, step your feet forward to the top of the mat, halfway lift, forward fold again, and lengthen the spine. Use your hamstrings and glutes to come to hands up pose, returning finally to Tadasana. The breathing pattern: inhale, arms up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, exhale, hands to the ground, stepping back, inhale at the top, exhale down into Chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale to downward facing dog. 5 regular deep breaths in downward facing dog. After the 5th breath, step forward, inhale halfway, exhale forward fold, inhale rise, exhale arms down. That's Sun Salutation A. Good luck in your practice, friends.